Now, dear student, how are you? Good morning. I hope you are very well. Where you stay safe and sound, and you should try to avoid gathering, and you maintain social distance, and wash your hands frequently to disinfect the hand from COVID-19. Now, dear student, today I will discuss transformation according to the meaning. Now, dear student, do you know assertive sentence is two kinds, affirmative and negative. Now, dear student, today we will discuss how to change affirmative sentence into negative sentence. Affirmative to negative. Affirmative sentence to negative sentence. If first number, if only or alone, only or alone indicates a person non-word is used before the person. Now, dear student, you see, only Meena can solve the sum. Now, dear student, you see, only indicates Meena. So, in negative sentence, you have to use non-word before the word Meena. Before Meena, as Meena is a person, and dash full stop. Meena can solve the sum. Here non-word is used instead of only. Do you understand? You see, number 2, if only or alone is only or alone indicates a thing. Nothing but is used before the thing. You see, I have bought only toys. Only toy. Now, dear student, negative. I have bought nothing but toy. Do you understand? Here only indicates toy, only modifies toy. So instead of only, I have used only nothing but. Now dear student, you see, if only or alone indicates age or number, only or alone indicates age or number, not more than or not less than is used before number or age. You see, she is only 20. Now, dear student, she is not more than 20 or not less than 20 or not less than. You may use not more than or not less than. It is the use of only or alone. Now dear student, do you have the name must, have to, has to? You see, when must, have to, has to is used in negative, we have to, in negative we have to use cannot but or cannot help plus be plus ing. Now you see, you must obey your teacher. Negative, you cannot but obey and dash dash etc. Or you can't help, then you have to use obeying your teacher. Do you understand? You see another example. Ratan has to come to school. How to change into negative? Ratan, instead of has to you have to use can't, but come to school. Do you understand? We have used cannot but instead of has to, so it is the negative. Now dear student, must, have to and has to, at past form had to, okay. When had to is used in negative, we have to use couldn't but, or couldn't help. Now you see, you had to obey your teacher. In negative it will change only couldn't but obey your teacher. Here couldn't help obeying your teacher. Here had to come to school. Here only couldn't but come to school. Do you understand it? Now dear student, in another example and another rules we see. Every or all or a before noun or pronoun. In negative sentence, next sentence we use there is or was dash dash but, or there is or was dash dash who plus negative clause. Now dear student, or sometimes we use no plus NP noun pronoun plus dash dash the opposite odd, opposite odd of the affirmative odd. Now dear student, you see, every mother loves her child. Every mother loves her child. You see, in negative sentence, instead of every, there is now here no is used. There is no mother but loves her child. Now you see the structure. There is no plus the next word of every, the next word of every plus no plus but plus ex. Do you understand? There is no, it is used according to the tense of principal verb in affirmative sentence. Is there is no, instead of every, then the next word of every, the next word mother, and no, then no, sorry, the next word every, mother, but, and rest of the part. Now dear student, you see the another example, or there is no mother who, negative clause after who does not love her child. Do you understand? When who is used, after who you have to use the negative clause. Now dear student, you see the another example, it instead of every you may use no, no mother, and the opposite word of the affirmative word. In this sentence you may find the affirmative word loves. So you have to write the opposite word of loves. Hates, no mother hates, and rest of the part, her child. Now dear student, do you understand it? You see, always and ever, always or ever in affirmative sentence, in affirmative sentence, always or ever. In negative sentence, in neg, never plus the opposite word of the affirmative word, Now dear student, you see, he always obeys his teacher. You see, in negative sentence, he, instead of always you have to use never, and in this sentence the affirmative word is obey, the opposite word disobey. Disobeys his teacher. Do you understand? Instead of always I have used never, and the opposite word disobey of obeys. Now dear student, you see the another example. In affirmative, two dash dash two. In negative, instead of two you have to use so, and instead of two you have to use that plus pronoun of first subject plus can or may, could or might, plus not, plus after two. You see, the man was the man is too dull to understand the sum. Now, dear student, you see, it's the affirmative sentence. The man was too dull to understand the sum, but here two is used and two is used. How to change into negative? The sum, the man was, instead of two you have to use so, dull, and you have to use that, and here I have write the pronoun of the first subject, the man, the pronoun he is the pronoun of man, and it's the past tense, so you have to use could not, and what is written after two? Understand the sum, understand the sum. Do you understand it? According to tense, you have to use couldn't or cannot, may not or might not. Here you have to follow what is tense is used in the principal clause. Now, dear student, you see another example of a rule. As soon as, do you know what is the meaning of as soon as? Immediately after or and at once. As soon as in affirmative. In affirmative, as soon as. In negative, you have to use no sooner had plus subject plus V3 plus dash dash then plus ex. Now, dear student, you see, as soon as Meena heard the news, she went to the sport. You see, instead of as soon as, you have to use no sooner had plus subject Meena, then the past participle of heard the news, and instead of comma you have to use then, and rest of the part. Sometimes Now, dear student, you see, when in affirmative, superlative or comparative, in affirmative, superlative or comparative degree is used. In negative, positive degree is used. Now, dear student, you see, BD is one of the smallest countries in the world. Now, dear student, you see, one of the smallest countries is the superlative form. How to change it into negative? Now, dear student, it will be changed into positive degree. Then it is automatically changed into negative. Now, dear student, you see, very few countries in the world are very few countries in the world are so small as BD. Now, you see the structure. When you see one of the in the affirmative sentence, you have to use very few at the beginning of the sentence. Very few plus after soup, after soup, or rest of the part of the soup plus verb plural, verb plus so plus adjective one plus s plus first subject. You match the negative with the structure. Very few countries in the world of superlative degree, smallest countries of the world. Here countries of the world, and verb plural are, and so is used. Adjective or positive small, again as, and first subject BD, here is used BD. Now, dear student, do you understand it? And when you see the comparative form in the positive, when you see in the comparative form in affirmative sentence, how to change it into negative sentence? BD is smaller than most other countries. Now, dear student, in the same way, when you see in the sentence than most other, you have to use very few countries in the world are so small as BD. In the same way, and same answer of superlative degree, very few countries in the world are as small as BD. Here, very few countries in the world, but so it's the positive form of comparative degree, then as at last the first subject of BD. Now, dear student, when you see as or so as, how to change into negative sentence? Suppose you see a plane flies as fast as a bird. How to change it into negative sentence? When you see as or so, how to change? At last, you may use at last subject a bird. A bird does not fly faster than a plane. Now, how to change it? The last subject plus, when you see it change into negative according to the tense. Now, it is the present indefinite, and so you have to use doesn't as the subject third person singular. Subject plus auxiliary verb and not plus V1 plus adjective or comparative form plus then plus first subject. Do you understand it? Now, dear student, when both dash and is used in the sentence, how to change into negative? Do you know? You see, in affirmative, both dash and is used. In negative, you have to use instead of both not only, and instead of and you have to use but also. And when you see only and, you may also use not only but also. Now, dear student, you see the example. Rahim eats not only an egg but also a burger. You see. Now, dear student, I have already written the answer. It will be Rahim eats both an egg and a burger. In negative, Rahim eats instead of both not only an egg, and instead of and you have to use but also. And rest of the part. Do you understand? Now, dear student, if Rohim eats an egg and a burger. You also write not only egg but also a burger. I hope you understand clearly what I have teaching you, and you try your best to understand, and if you don't understand, you communicate with me. I will try my best to understand you. No more today. Thank you. Goodbye.